quiet shock is moving across America. Not a natural disaster, not a stock market crash, something far more subtle, far more revealing, and far more permanent. A seismic economic shift is dismantling the retail giants that shaped the country's identity for more than half a century. Walmart, Walgreens, Macy's, Subway, Best Buy, Big Lots, Dollar General, 7-Eleven. Names once so deeply woven into American life they seemed eternal. But nothing is eternal, not even the brands that built the American consumer landscape. Over the last 12 months, more than 3,200 major stores have gone dark. Behind every shuttered location lies a vanished job, a weakened community, and a fading piece of the American story. The danger is not just financial, it's cultural, it's psychological. It signals a nation transforming in ways most citizens have not fully noticed or refused to accept. This is not a future crisis. It's unfolding now, and it's accelerating. Across the nation, 12 major retail giants, once considered invincible, are shrinking, gasping for air, or preparing for a slow, silent exit. When these brands fall, the consequences will ripple through the economy, the workforce, and the identity of countless communities. This is the story of what's happening to America, and why it matters more than anyone wants to admit. Walmart, the giant. That's finally bleeding. For decades, Walmart was not just a store, it was a ritual. Families filled carts every weekend. Seniors walked the aisles each morning for the familiarity. Small towns depended on it as an economic heartbeat. But by 2025, a wave of store closures is spreading across the map. California, Illinois, Washington, small towns in Arkansas, Missouri, and Michigan, cities where Walmart was once the last place still hiring. Walmart's revenue remains enormous, over $600 billion a year, but its profits are being quietly eaten alive by a problem the executives can no longer hide: shrink, theft, missing inventory, losses that reached $112 billion industry-wide, with Walmart absorbing well over $3 billion on its own. Some stores lose $10,000 a week in merchandise, security costs climb, insurance premiums spike, and wages, once kept famously low, must rise to keep any staff at all. Meanwhile, many middle-class consumers, the backbone of Walmart's business for decades, are spending less, visiting less, switching to online orders, turning to cheaper hard discount stores. So Walmart is shifting its model: fewer stores, more automation, robotic warehouses, and AI-driven logistics. Efficient, precise, and deeply impersonal. But efficiency has a cost. When a Walmart closes, it doesn't just shut down a building, it shuts down the economic lifeline of an entire region. Jobs disappear, sales tax evaporates, parking lots become ghostly empty lands of cracked asphalt and abandoned shopping carts. An elderly man in Iowa summed it up quietly: when Walmart leaves, it feels like the town leaves with it. If even Walmart can't maintain a presence across America, one must ask, who can? Does anybody stay in Thailand? 11. Walgreens, the vanishing pharmacy of the American neighborhood. For decades, Walgreens felt as permanent as streetlights. Nearly every community had one. Until suddenly they didn't. More than 1,300 Walgreens stores are scheduled to shut down or relocate. 7 to 8 close every week. California, New York, Florida, Illinois, states that once held some of the chain's busiest locations, are now dotted with boarded windows and empty shelves waiting to be cleared out. Walgreens didn't collapse from one crisis. It collapsed from a chain of them. Rent climbed. Employee insurance skyrocketed. Pharmacists demanded better pay and shorter hours. And theft became relentless. The company invested millions into anti-theft measures, locked cabinets, sealed displays, cameras. But all of that created new problems. Customers hated the inconvenience. Seniors abandoned stores because they could no longer easily pick up basic items. Sales fell, and the closures accelerated. Rural communities are now in crisis. A person who once drove 5 minutes for blood pressure medication is now travelling 20 miles or relying on delayed mail order prescriptions. What seems like a minor inconvenience is, for vulnerable Americans, a life-threatening obstacle. Walgreens calls it strategic restructuring. For many communities, it's simply abandonment. Best Buy, the tech playground, losing its spark. There was a time when stepping into Best Buy felt like stepping into the future. Walls of televisions glowing with vivid colours, demo laptops humming softly under bright lights, speakers booming with clarity that filled the entire aisle. Those days are gone. More than 400 Best Buy locations have closed in 4 years, not because Americans despise electronics, Americans love them, but because they no longer need a physical store to buy them. Amazon undercuts nearly every price. Apple and Samsung sell directly to customers. Online returns are effortless, and the pandemic conditioned millions to buy tech without ever touching it. Best Buy's profits have plummeted from $2.4 billion to just $1 billion in 3 years. Rent, insurance, and wages grow heavier each quarter. The retail model that made Best Buy a household name is now outdated. A 60-year-old customer said, "I want someone I can talk to about what I'm buying," but now there's no one left to ask. Her words echo a larger truth. It isn't just the electronics that are disappearing, it's the human interaction that once defined American shopping. Subway, the sandwich empire. Crumbling from within, Subway was once everywhere, more locations than McDonald's and Starbucks combined. But now, more than 2,000 US stores have closed within a short period. Franchises shut down under crushing fees, impossible competition, and quality that no longer meets consumer expectations. Bread no longer smells freshly baked. Meat no longer feels premium. Employees, understaffed and underpaid, no longer deliver the same service. Customer trust eroded slowly until it wasn't trust at all, but a quiet disappointment. And then there's the chain's biggest mistake: oversaturation. Stores were packed so close together that franchise owners competed against each other instead of competing with other brands. Profits dropped. Bankruptcy filings rose. The empire cracked. Subway once represented quick, affordable comfort, an American lunch break tradition. Now it represents a fading taste of a past that no longer exists. 8. Dollar General, the last cheap store in a country that isn't cheap anymore. Dollar General expanded aggressively for a decade, 3 stores opening every single day at the peak. It became the backbone of small towns and low-income communities. But now, that engine has stalled. More than 400 Dollar General stores have closed. More will follow. The reasons are brutal. Customers can't afford even discounted items. Suppliers raised prices. Staff shortages turned stores into near-abandoned warehouses. Security risks multiplied. In the poorest parts of the country, Dollar General wasn't just a store, it was the only store. But when the last cheap store becomes unaffordable, it signals something deeper. It means poverty has outgrown the model designed to survive poverty. A customer in rural Kentucky said plainly, "Dollar General isn't going bankrupt, we are." To Stow. 7. 7-11. The nightlight of America. Flickering out. Tade. For decades, 7-Eleven was the warm glow of America after midnight. Drivers stopping for coffee, nurses grabbing a snack after long shifts, teenagers picking up snacks during summer nights, the convenience store of convenience stores. Yet in 2025, more than 800 locations have closed or been sold. Why? Rising crime, higher insurance premiums, staff shortages, shrinking profit margins. The 24-hour model, once a badge of American convenience, no longer makes financial sense. Many stores have shortened hours, hired overnight security, or shut down completely. A disappearing 7-Eleven is not just a disappearing convenience, it's a disappearing sense of safety in the American night. 6. Kroger, the supermarket giant, losing its breath. Kroger was once the embodiment of middle-class stability. Affordable groceries, weekly routines, predictable prices, but that world is fading. Net profit dropped 7.8%. Employee insurance costs rose 22%. The attempted merger with Albertsons collapsed. Dozens of stores now sit in limbo. Shoppers feel the difference immediately. Fewer employees, thinner inventory, prices creeping upward, parking lots emptier than ever. The American grocery basket, once a symbol of abundance, is shrinking. Kroger's struggle reveals a painful truth. Inflation isn't just numbers. It's empty shelves. It's fewer meals. It's families learning that basic living now costs more than ever before. 5. Big lots. When discount becomes too expensive. Big lots once gave families a way to furnish their homes without collapsing their budgets. Cheap sofas, affordable mattresses, deeply discounted furniture. But when your customers become poorer than your cheapest prices, your business model collapses. More than 200 big lot stores have shut down. Revenue has fallen nearly 30%. The customer base has shifted from bargain hunters to survival shoppers, people buying only essentials, never extras. When even discount furniture becomes a luxury, something is deeply wrong. Bookie Party, Macy's, The Fall of the American Shopping Cathedral. For generations, Macy's was not merely a store. It was an American symbol. Holiday parades, Christmas decorations, bright red bags, family trips to the mall. Macy's represented the romance of shopping itself. But that era is ending. More than 150 Macy's stores have closed. Over 2,300 employees laid off. Stock value cut in half. Walk into a remaining Macy's and the decline is obvious. Vast empty floors, clearance racks stretching wall to wall, signs reading extra 70% off everywhere. The department store model, grand, expansive, curated, no longer fits the economic reality of 2025. Amazon won. Fast fashion won. Minimalism won. A Macy's, once the cultural heart of American retail, stands as the ghost of a richer, more optimistic nation. Pi. 3. Fast food chains. When convenience stops being enough. Fast food was once the great equalizer of America. A cheap burger, a quick meal, something easy for exhausted parents or rushed workers. But the economics have changed. A $5 burger now costs $11 or $12. Workers demand higher wages. Rents pinch franchises. Healthy eating trends dominate younger generations. More than 200 major fast food outlets have disappeared recently. Not because Americans stopped being hungry, but because Americans stopped being willing to pay for disappointment. And as fast food collapses, so does the idea that Americans can still enjoy convenience without financial pain. 2. Retail streets and shopping districts becoming abandoned land. Entire shopping districts, once lively, bright, full of music and movement, now stand in eerie silence. JCPenney, Bed Bath and Beyond, Sears, stores that once symbolized American aspiration, now replaced by empty units, darkened hallways, dusty glass, for lease signs. Online shopping didn't just kill stores. It killed the ecosystem surrounding them. No foot traffic means no nearby restaurants. No restaurants mean no nearby services. And slowly, block by block, American retail districts become deserted. A former Macy's worker said, "I don't remember what I sold. I remember the faces. Now the faces are gone." Human connection, once baked into the shopping experience, has been replaced by silent clicks on digital screens. 1. Pharmacies, when the last pill bottle leaves the neighborhood. The death of the American pharmacy is one of the most alarming changes of all. Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid. In just 18 months, more than 2,000 pharmacies have vanished. For millions of Americans, especially seniors, this isn't just inconvenience, it's danger, medication delays, long travel distances, no in-person support, no pharmacist to answer questions. These closures reveal a society drifting toward digital solutions that leave its most vulnerable behind. And when the pharmacy leaves, the neighbourhood loses more than medicine. It loses the last human point of connection many people had. Diabol Tayati Gado, what America is really losing. Ani Maitian Satwamat, Walgreens, Macy's, Dollar General. These were not just stores, they were routines, landmarks, pieces of identity, social glue. Their collapse reflects something deeper, a shrinking middle class, a fractured economy, a society moving faster than its people can adapt, an America with fewer gathering places, fewer jobs, fewer shared experiences.